Hope you guys had a great weekend. All right, guys, we are live. So, first off, let's talk about kind of what we did on our trades on Friday with the SPY. For you guys that are new to the channel, we're going to talk about the stock side. We'll talk about the Dixie and crypto and such on as far as TA, and then we'll get into the automated trading portion. I usually do about 15 minutes of the TA, 15 minutes of the automated trading. We do have a short call here on the SPX on the short time frame. Actually, first let's go into the SPY. Let's talk about what we did Friday. All right. So Friday we had the market was opened right. Let me find the candle here. Looks like it right here was the market open. So we had initial push up. We played that put on the pullback, made a nice gain there. And then we kind of waited. We were super patient here. We did get a little bit of a bearish divergence to play this pullback here. So, my point is, even though we're having like this up push, right? The way that we trade, the way that we scalp, we can still make money on these pullbacks here. But you can see the indicator was pretty spot on for the nice, small little scalp movement. We did get a double top formation here that didn't quite break the neckline, so it invalidated. But when you look at this overall, guys, we have double top, your ABCD extended, you got your cipher and N-star, another double top. But I wanted to more so show what was really cool is the patience of our indicator. So we did have a long that we were in. It held that long all the way through, right? All the way through. And then right here at the end of the day, it threw the short literally right, like I think it was like minutes at the end of the day. So we put out in the room, called the short. A lot of us took this short on a 10-day contract, 7-day contract. So we'll see how this plays out today, right? Right now we're at 427.98 on the pre, kind of holding. I mean, some small bullish divergence, but not real significant. It's definitely some room to go down, definitely some room to go up on the 2 minute. So looking at the 1 hour, I wanted to kind of point out is, we were really overbought. Can we see a little more upside? Sure. I think I have this marked at 431.89. Keep in mind, guys, we have this little kind of 2-point touch and now kind of a 3-point touch that it seems to be struggling to break. It does look like it possibly broke it here on the pre-market. So once the market opens, if this can hold, I would probably suspect we'll get a push to 431 before rejection, maybe the high of high at 434. We're just so overbought right now, and we're getting kind of a little bit of a lower push, but we still kind of have that higher push. So that bearish divergence is there. So although in the long-term scheme of things, I'm pretty bullish on the stocks. I think short-term, we're either going to see a pullback today and market open, or possibly a slight pullback with a push north and then the bigger pullback tomorrow or Wednesday. Like you guys know, I'm only staying put. I get it. There's a lot of opportunities here to take some calls. A lot of times in the room, I'll even call the call. But I just, my rules, my discipline is I haven't taken them. I think I've taken like 2 in the last freaking 3 weeks. I don't know, something crazy. And because that's how we scalp, right? And the reason why I do that is, you guys will learn in the room as I talk about it. I directional trade based on the or scalp based on the direction of the highest reward, right, and least risk. And so the highest reward for me here is, we could fall all the way back down to 400. I mean, that would just be a ridiculous gain, right? And then the risk here is that we could pump up to about 434. Can we go higher than that? Sure. I don't, if you look at the previous high right here, for us to hit this and not have at least some sort of rejection would be extremely surprising. Not that it can't happen, but it would take some definite news to push that, way above that. So again, when I say I'm staying short, I'm not just always entering a short. We've gone sometimes, entire market day without entering a short until the indicators line up and tell us to do so. So that's kind of where we're at in the SPY. As far as, today, Guys, if you look at the 1 hour, on the 1 hour 200 EMA, I mean, we're so high in the range, it's not even funny. Like 414 is the 1 hour, and we're at like 428, right? So we always come back and test this 1 hour. It just always does. I had this white line here. This was something I was kind of measuring as like what I call a break line. So we would have to come through, and it's not really a trend line. It's too upward. But this is what we would need to break. We do have a gap fill down around 426. We have a gap fill down around 420. That needs to be filled. I would suspect that our cool down could be even as short lived as 420 range here. Possibly somewhere around here or here, right? 420, 422 before it tries to push up again. You could also try to even take like something like this, right, where you take this trend line like that and pull it up like this. So it could even come down and just hit this range right here around the 420 like I was talking about. Now this does give kind of a little bit of a wedge feel here. So if we do come down and we hit this and we come back up and we hit that and we come back down, right, that could be leading to a bigger break. But at the end of the day, guys, remember, if you're red here on the divergence hunter up in this zone, especially in the 1 hour, I mean, you're super risky taking those calls right now. You need to have some kind of cool off. So just be patient with the market, guys. Anytime you push the trade, those are usually ones you end up losing. SPX is going to show the after hour markets. So you can see on the after hour on the 2 minute, we're just kind of ranging sideways. We did get a short call here that has not quite played out. We are kind of pushing north a little bit on this RSI though. So, and we are near the green range here, so just keep a close eye there. I would suspect that we'll probably come back up and maybe retest this point, so I'll mark that. This is the high. This is what you're going to want to watch, because if it cannot break this and create another high, right, then that's going to cause that pullback. However, if we break and we hold this as support, then that's going to be your push north. So if you go to the 1 hour on the SPX, Bollinger Bands are basically expanding, so we did get a rejection off the band here. So it just kind of looks like it's squeezing the 21 SMA right now. You can see right there. So a break of this 21 SMA, honestly, like I said, guys, if you look at... Oh, I have the zone tracker muted. Let's unmute that. Let's see where there we go. So this one's got the 1 hour... 1 hour EMA around 4209 or so. So if this were to come down and get a bounce, so let's say we have kind of like our double top feel coming on right here, right? So let's say we do break this right here, we break this neckline, we're likely to reclaim this side, come down here, get down to about 4241 or so, probably even a 4209 low. But I would suspect our first bounce probably would come through here unless we break it and then do that. So, but that would be enough for a cool off. As far as the overall RSI, again, even on this one, it's just still so overbought. Now it has not flipped red. You can see in these instances when it actually flips red, right, we actually get those pullbacks, right? So the safe bet would be to wait till our indicator flips red right here. So talking about the Dixie, let's jump into that. So as y'all know, I have been following this for some time. We did get our rounded bottom. Could be, kind of a little cup and handle feel. It's going to depend. I mean, this is just such a crucial area. You guys, we came down here. We found support at what was prior resistance and prior support. And we found support, right? So if the Dixie can actually break above this red resistance zone that the zone tracker is calling here, and break above it and hold that support, then the push north should be pretty substantial, even as high as 105.8. But again, if we cannot hold this line here, and we do reject off of this one again, then it's likely to pull backwards down, to at least retest this area again. So, but we could come as low as 101. So. Super critical moment. Remember, Mondays, they like to fake out. Mondays are more hunts for the weekend. This is where they're going to come and try to stop out all the people that they trapped over the weekend. So looks like ETH is throwing a short signal. So let's take a look at the VIX and see where we're at. Remember, we were at super low territory right here. You can see we hit as low as, I think it looks like 1450. Last time we did that, we had some, significant support, right? So even if we do push north, this is like a scalper's dream, guys, for people like us in the room, because we could continue to push north, but what's going to happen is as you push north, you're going to have these pullbacks like this, right? And it's going to be a bumpy northern push. Do I think that we're set up for a crash necessarily? Probably not. Not quite yet, but there's nothing really showing that is showing a crash is coming. But it's definitely going to be a bumpy push, right? So we can, as long as we're capitalizing on those bumps, we can make a lot of money. So yes, you could take your calls, you could take your longs. If you're going to do it, I highly suggest you set stop losses. Looking at the tech stocks, I'm not going to necessarily do the TA of things, but I will tell you Apple is up on the pre-market. It is actually breaking its prior. We can look at this one real quick. I had this marked. Yeah, see, you got your prior high here. This is a pivotal spot for Apple because if it can break 182.92 and then actually hold that as support, I mean, it's going to just absolutely rocket. But as of right now, I would be looking for a possible retracement unless it can break this high here. So for Apple. Then we have Microsoft slightly down. We have Google slightly down on pre-market, and we have this one is Amazon, which is Amazon's about even. So I end up moving the zone tracker down again. Let's just delete it. It's those small windows. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Let's open up Bitcoin. Bitcoin has been mostly trading kind of sideways through the weekend. It was really boring. That's why we have our ATAs, right? So the ATA traded all that, I'm sure. We did get a rejection south, as you guys know. I'm still, my ATAs I'm playing mostly long. So when we have these pullbacks, right, we'll see how those are handling it, right? But the reason why I'm playing mostly long is because I'm capturing the bounces off of what has been just massive support. Now, if we break this support level around 26,645, if it cannot hold and we actually start rejecting off of this, we're going to see that fall. You guys know my belief for the past, a few weeks, that we have to hit this 25,245. I think this is where we're going to get a pretty significant bounce if we do. However, if we break with any kind of momentum, we can come as low as 23,897. My belief based on what I'm seeing is that we kind of had our fall. We're just ranging a lot along here. I think we'll have another fall, and then we'll just kind of range along here, and then we might have that other fall, and then that would explode us north. So that is if we can even break this range. So for those who are following along with that, that range I'm basically pulling off of what was prior resistance, super strong resistance, as well as that, everybody who was following that inverse head and shoulder that broke out. If you zoom out on the daily and you look at it, we did have that kind of inverse head and shoulder, right? So you had your shoulder, your head, your shoulder, and then if you think about the neckline, right, we're just kind of retesting that neckline. So if it comes down and retests this larger neckline right here, right, and it can hold that as support, then that would be that boom north. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Let's look and see if there's any gap fills. So we did come back and get all the gap fills, it looks like south. We do have a nice gap fill we got to do around 26,749. If you overall look at it, guys, on the 2-minute, so we did have our kind of cross of the 200 EMA, and we're just kind of bleeding below it. So we would have to flip this 200 to have any kind of upside. We are getting a little bit of a rounded kind of feel. So if we come down here and get another bounce and and we actually flip this somewhere around here, right, then we might get that rounded kind of feel or pattern playing out. So let's take a look at the 1 hour, look for some gap fills. Yeah, I don't really see anything left on the 1 hour coming down. We did call these gap fills down here. We already hit this one. There's looks like one small one here on 26.9, another little one here on 27.1. We have a couple up here we got to come get to. So, but again, if you look at each time we had our fall from this level, which is right where we wick to, we had lows as low as 25.8 or so, right? Both times 1, 2. So it wouldn't surprise me if we get another kind of wick before it pushes up, or a wick even all the way down to this level. So just play your range, guys. I'm going to jump into the ATAs because I am 15 minutes in. For those new to the channel, this is the automated trading portion. So we are running AVE long, ETH short, LTC long, LTC short, Matic long, and Sol long. So let's see how those all held out. Obviously, we know the market pulled back, so I'm curious to see what we're stuck in and what the plan is if we are stuck, if you're following along. So AVE, I know we were stuck in for the weekend before, so it looks like we're still there. It has not initiated its second DCA yet. It's like right there. So looking at this, we're pretty close to that second DCA. If you're following along, I may actually push this. No, I'm gonna leave it, guys. I think we'll be okay. So we're gonna leave this. If it gets below this line, it'll DCA. That's gonna pull our white line entry pretty much down to about here. So if it does pull back and it comes up for a retest, right, that'll get us out. So AVE, just sit tight. We're not gonna touch it right now. Let's take a look at ETH. All right, ETH short. So if you recall, guys, remember we've been in the short here for a little bit. We were looking for a push up here to DCA. If it did, it would have got out right by now, but we just missed that call. So we need to either get to about 1780 or we need a push up, right? So we could play with this DCA if we wanted to, but I'm not going to quite yet. Let's see where our long is. So our long looks like it did pretty well, about 50 bucks. It's holding pretty strong. We did do our DCA 1, and we only have one for right now, so we're not doing any more DCAs. What I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to set up a secondary DCA probably around here. And the reason why is what that's going to do is it's going to cause a squeeze, right? So we have our long needs to get here, our short needs to get here. So if it pulls down and it gets my short out, right, it's going to DCA my long, and then on the bounce, right, I can get out of both of those. So let's add a second DCA. Let's start with 6%. I'm just looking to see where this white line is. This is the percent. All right, so actually it's pretty close to what I want. So I'm going to do like 5.75. I want it to come up just a little bit. I'd like it around 1800 or yeah, 1796. I'm good with that. Look, because you don't want to put it on the line, guys, because you need to give it some room to actually catch that bounce. So all we got to do is just delete our ETH long. We're going to come in here. We're going to add alert, ATA, Gambit, ETH long. Long. Okay. So now we're set. We don't have to touch ETH. It's a win-win situation. If we go up, we make some money. We go down, we make some money. So, and that's the best way you can ever set up your ATAs is in that fashion. So, let's take a look at LTC. We're flipping through these pretty quick because I'm not anticipating making a lot of changes. This is more just preparation, right, for the next move to get something out of that stuff. So it looks like our LTC never triggered the second DCA. If we had that a little lower, it might have, and it would have got us out, but that's okay. So we only need to come down just a little bit more, not too bad on our short. And then our long might be long's in the same situation ETH was, so that's kind of funny. So let's just do the same thing with LTC, guys. So we're going to want to put this somewhere, our second DCA somewhere down here. I would say like maybe 87 or so. So it's going to be the same situation that ETH is, where if it comes down, gets our short out, it'll DCA our long, and that'll put us in a decent position. So let's try 8%. I'm just trying to see if the white line ends up in here, and then we'll modify it. There it goes. So there it is, 88. Let's go 8.5. I I don't want to be too aggressive on it, but I don't want it too close to this line here either. 87, that's fine. I'm good with that. So you can pause to read that or go back if you guys are watching the recording. If you're following me, all I have to do now is delete the LTC long. So again, guys, you know, we 7 days, $100. I mean, we did good through the weekend. I'm just positioning the ones that got caught a little bit from the fall last night. So, but overall in the weekend, it did really well. LTC long, ATA Gambit, LTC long. So with you guys watching the channel, I mean, it's literally, we just draw our indicator. You guys get access to this indicator. You put on your own trading view and you can do the same exact thing I'm doing. All we're doing is we're creating the plan for the ATA, and then we create the alert for it to actually fire. So once we make any modification on here, we have to make the new alert. So now what we've done is we positioned ourselves really well, because if we do fall, we're going to get out of a short, which is in a good position. Then we're going to DCA our long, which will pull our entry somewhere into this range, which I'm okay with, right? And then we get that bounce off of our support around 85, and we'll be out of the long. So, and you know, both combined are going to be really, really good profitable trade. But the goal is to just, we want to get it back to work. So you always want to position yourself to where if it pumps, you get out, and the longs get back to work. If it drops, then the shorts will go back to work, right? You're always going to have one that you're going to have to kind of figure out and do some TA with. But the goal is just, you don't want to have both stuck, because then you're not earning anymore. So we want to try to position ourselves to get out of that. So Matic long, let's see how that played out. It was trading really well over the weekend. Let's see if it got stuck on the fall though. So Matic's a little stuck, not too bad. Made $8 over the 3 days. I mean, not too much, but again, it cost me nothing to do it. If I'm going to set a second DCA, I'm going to do it somewhere down in this range. Let's say like 84, because we're going to capture these, bounce off these predetermined lines that I have from TA. So let's set a second DCA around 7. Let's see where that puts that white line. Puts it right about here. It might be a little bit much, so let's try 7. Let's pull the 0.5 back. I'd like to pull it up to about here somewhere. There. Okay, I'm good with that. Because we don't want to be too aggressive, right? We want to give it some time, but if we want to capture that bounce, because that's going to move the entry probably somewhere around here, right? So we capture that bounce and we get out. So let's take the Matic long. We're going to delete that one. We're going to add the ATA Gambit Matic long. Create. And once that creates, then we can move on. And we're not running Matic short, so we're good. And everything was doing really, really well until the drop last night. So, which we knew was potential to come. So Solana actually crushed it through the weekend. 4 days, made $30. And again, guys, if you're following this, you're new to following the channel. This is on around a $5,000 account that it can do all this. So you think between LTC, all this stuff, I mean, it's it's still up about $200 or so just in the last like 7 or 10 days, and that's barely that's not counting some of the other ones that we've started and stopped too. So it did do really well. Each blue one's a buy, each green one's a sell. It did get out here. It just recently, it looks like last night or so, right before the falls, when it got caught, just like the rest of them. We'll just do the same as we did with the rest of them. Let's put a DCA. I don't know that. Let me look and see what this yellow line is signifying. Okay, so we have our safe range we could do here. I'm okay doing a 2 here because I can do the third one there. Because remember, we do have the ability to do 3 DCAs. We're just calculating them. So we're going to set our position again, just like the others. And if y'all remember, go back like 2 videos. I'm positioning myself like I kind of anticipated this to happen, but I was okay with it because remember, as we get to those heavy support ranges, we're going to get that pretty nice bounce, right? So adding an extra DCA, that's why I'm being more aggressive than y'all have seen me in the past to adding these, because adding that extra DCA is going to, it's going to just make it such a profitable trade once it gets out. So I'm good with the 6.5. If you guys are following me, just you guys can leave that to 6.5. We're gonna go saw long. Let's cancel this bad boy, and we're gonna add ATA gambit saw long. All right, so a lot of changes, guys. If you're following along, you know, please, if you got lost a little bit, pause it, go back, whatever you need to do. It is all recorded. If you guys don't know where the recording is, which you should by now, but you can go into the community events on BotJock, and once I'm done with this, it will be recorded here. You can actually see it's already going, right? So you can even watch it live. So if I were to open this and then hit that, right, you can see it's live. So the moment that I'm done recording it, it will all be there, everything I'm doing. And that's just from the YouTube, guys. So, but we're set up on the ATA. I'm not going to run anything else. With this fall that just happened, do we have potential for more downside? Absolutely. I actually think it probably will happen. But we're just too close to landmine area for me to run shorts. You know, right now we're kind of 4 longs, 2 shorts. We could add maybe 1 more short. I wouldn't, you know what I just noticed? I don't see it took my ETH long. I might need to go back to that one. See, I only have my ETH short. Just noticed that. If I'm going to do a short, I'm definitely not doing Matic. I would probably do Aave, but I'm not going to do that today, guys. We'll do that tomorrow if we decide to do that. But we do need to go back to ETH because it doesn't look like... Be careful of this because when I'm doing these calls, I do this sometimes trying to go a little bit too fast. What ends up happening is when you go to create the alert, if you get off of the layout before it actually creates the alert, it won't create it. So let's create this and let's see if it actually takes this time. Let's wait and make sure it hits the list. There it goes. Now we have the ETH long. Yeah. If you get out of the layout too fast, it won't create it, and then that will cause it not to fire, and you'll be super confused. So always, I tell everybody, you know, use this as your to-do list. When you log in to check it, see which one you want to check. When you log out, always double check to make sure you have what you set up, right? So we have Aave long, ETH long, short long, or ETH short, LTC long, LTC short, Matic long, Sol long. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We actually have 5 longs and 1, 2 shorts. So we're actually a little heavy on longs, guys. Let's do that real quick. We have a couple minutes. I'm gonna open up and let's set up. Let's do Sol. We'll do Sol short. So I'm gonna mute this. To activate the short, guys, all you have to do is you don't have to change anything in here because I'm gonna keep it the same. I'm gonna change this to 6.5. Remember, this is where you close the candle. And then we're just gonna do 8.58, and that will populate my yellow candle. So the yellow fractal. So once we get the yellow fractal in there with our line, we know that anything after it's automatically looking for a buy or a short, and then you have your estimated profit is obviously going to get reset. So once you have that fractal there, all you have to do is simply ATA gambit Sol short. So I'm kind of running this short because I'm not stopping any longs because they're in those DCAs. So it's kind of a way, always find that balance of long and short, right? Because you want to keep earning. So if we're a little heavy on longs, which we are, I thought I had 4, but I actually had 5. So 2 shorts for me on 5 longs is, so I don't mind adding that extra short. So yeah, and there we go. So we got the Sol short and the Sol long. So we're good to go. If you follow me, like I said, watch that recording and you will be good to go. TikTok, if you guys have comments, I'll be checking that here shortly. If you're in the community, I'll be putting that room out so we can trade together. Should be a pretty interesting day today, guys. Yeah, I think it's setting up really good for what we want to trade as far as profitability wise. If you are interested in running automated trading, but you feel like this is a lot that I'm doing, we are in the process of building a copy trade program where you can actually come in and just copy whatever I'm doing. You don't even have to know how to do any of that stuff that I just did. If you're one that wants to learn, we do have all the training here on our YouTube, which is literally you can get from the site for free, and you can go through all the training and see if it's something that that you're able to do. So, but I'm going to end the call.